Boil them cabbage down, Scruggs style, okay? In this one, we're gonna be using a forward roll, and at the start of each roll, we're gonna be dropping our thumb down to the second string. We're doing this because we're using the forward roll to also highlight the melody note, right? If you've learned the melody, and you should have learned the melody before jumping into this stuff, we know that it starts on the B string, right, and goes to the first fret. Right, so that's the basic melody. And what we're doing is a forward roll, like I said, that starts on that melody note. So when we bring that thumb down, it helps get us a really nice strong note that brings out that melody note. And we can even pick that B string a little bit harder in the middle of the roll. Right? So when that first finger comes in the middle of the roll a couple times, I'm picking it just a little bit harder. And that helps us, as I said, accent, bring out the melody. It also creates a really nice syncopated rhythmic feel. Accents just kind of help and bring life into the music, right? Whenever we can accent certain notes in different rhythmic patterns and highlight those melody notes. Right, and in the second half of measure 1, we are doing nothing different with our right hand. Still doing a forward roll and bringing that thumb down to the B string, but we just want to have our C chord prepared before we actually start that roll. And when it is time to kind of have those fingers down, try to put those fingers down at the same time, okay? So if I'm playing measure 1, you know, go ahead and put both those fingers down at the same time. Now in measure 2, we're again starting with a forward roll, dropping that thumb to the B string. When it comes time to play over the D chord, right, that's where we're changing our finger pattern a little bit so we can get the melody note that's here on the second fret of the G string, which is also a part of the D chord. Right? So that's the only time we're really changing our finger pattern right there when doing this forward roll. Measure 3 is the exact same as measure 1. So if you get measure 1 down, you're set for measure 3. Then we only need to take a look at measure 4. Measure 4, we're dropping our thumb down again to that B string, again because the melody is right there, right? So kind of an unusual roll here, not an exact roll pattern, but it's nice and even. Right, gets the melody note, then we go thumb, middle on the first, thumb on the fifth, middle on the first, right? And then when we go to this quick D chord, we're gonna play a D7 over here with our fret hand and do an alternating thumb roll. And then we're gonna go thumb, pinch, right? This is a lot shorter chord change timing-wise here in the measure 4, so that's why we're changing up the roll pattern to better accommodate that quick chord change. All right, I'm gonna play through this to give you an idea of how it sounds. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E, 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E All right, I'm just playing for demonstration purposes. When you are practicing this, try to go through a bunch of times, build your endurance, and go for consistency, right? Being able to do the same thing a bunch of times means you're starting to really develop mastery over it. We want to play until it's easy. Definitely check out some of the licks here. There is some cool Scruggs and melodic style variations for you guys to take a look at and give a try. The Scruggs lick in measure 1 is really cool. It uses what's called the Cripple Creek lick. It's called that because in the song Cripple Creek, Earl used this lick a lot, right? So it's kind of become synonymous with that song. But anytime we have a melody note that's on the open B string, this one is great to do that. So we're just gonna play 2 of those and then kind of finish it off with that forward roll on the C chord. Now this one in the right hand is just is just an alternating thumb roll. We're going 3, 2, 5, 1 in regards to the strings. And as we do that, we're going to start with a second fret note on the G, and we're going to go and complete our slide as we pick this second string with our first finger. Right? So we get to highlight that melody note and add in a really cool lick as well. Now, as I said, there are some other licks, there's some other Scruggs licks and some melodic ones. Be sure to use the focus feature to listen to those repeatedly so you understand what the timing is supposed to be, and pay attention to the fret hand indicators and the pick hand markings to make sure that we're using those suggested fingerings that will make these things a little bit easier to play. Right? And after you get an understanding of what it sounds like and the fingers you're supposed to use, practice repeatedly at a speed you can handle before trying to incorporate it to the actual song. All right, there's a lot of goodies within this. Make sure to dive in and have some fun with Boil Them Cabbage Down, Scruggs style.